It's October and we have got plenty of flowers in the garden at the moment. So I'm going to show you how to create a flower farming bucket so that you can get orders direct from brides and people running events. Then you can get the full amount for your flowers. Rather, if you go through a florist, that's great, but they will take a cut. So really, you want to market your buckets to the general public, which is harder. So I'm going to show you how. Okay, I've got my bucket. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill it up with clean, deep water. And you can see the bucket is absolutely sparkling clean itself. And that will make sure the flowers have the longest life. So first of all, let's start with our foliage, which is the most important part of any arrangement. It's the scaffolding. So I've got some gorgeous eucalyptus here. So we will strip off any of the lower stems. If you've got anything that's a bit too low but is beautiful, then you can always put them in a separate container for the buttonholes, and the brides really like that. If you say this is your buttonhole jar. And I use those recycled soup containers for doing that. Isn't that wonderful? There we go. That looks lovely already. Next, I will add some fillers. You can see I'm getting on really nicely with my filler flowers. Now it depends entirely on the colour scheme of the customer, but what I find is if you let them come out just before the event, you'll find that they will take anything that is looking amazing in the garden, irrespective of their original colour scheme. Honestly, they're like magpies. As soon as they see the garden looking spectacular, they will just pick everything that's looking good. Right, there we go. I'm going to leave some of the stems long because we don't know what they're going to do with them. And these side shoots, I will explain to them when they come to pick the bucket up, these side shoots can be cut, and then this stem can be cut down a bit shorter. But these side shoots can be cut and used in the buttonholes. And I always explain how to do that. We put a wedding flower workshop for just before the wedding in the cost of the flowers. There we go. And you can see that some of the stems, this is not a vase arrangement, it's just a bucket. So some of the stems are a bit longer because I will explain and I will show them. We always added a wedding flower workshop, and they always ordered it without fail. A wedding flowers workshop just before the event, and I can show them how to take off all these little side shoots, use those for buttonholes, and then keep the main big flower for bouquets or the main arrangements. Look at that, spectacular. And we haven't added any queen flowers yet. So we've still got some roses, and remember this is just a bucket, and our bucket orders went up from 3 to 6 to 12 to 14 to 16 to 22, depending on the size of the event. So you're just doing one bucket, so you don't have to worry about putting too much. You want to spread them out equally between. So some roses, because this is the end of the season, so the main event is dahlias and zinnias. Oh my goodness me, and also the China asters, I almost forgot. Ideal at this time of the year. Right, we're starting to look a little bit more flowery now. How not to go bust as a flower farmer. So make sure you're very, very careful. Please don't make your buckets like this, because this is an overfilled bucket of queen flowers, and you will never be able to make a living if you do this. And your customers won't be happy either, because they'll find it difficult to make vases and arrangements look nice with just these. They need the eucalyptus and the filler flowers, but unless you show them, they won't know. They'll just be drawn to the dramatic bucket. and then be disappointed. And what you want is you want the next person that comes along to be somebody that was at that wedding. That's how it works. So this bucket, see, it looks half empty compared to this one. So you need to be really careful and make sure they're all equal. You can see that most of my queen flowers are still in the buckets, but my goodness me, look what a difference the foliage and the filler flowers make. Now, is that not a better bucket than the 3 that we had before? Would you not prefer that? And also be generous. If you are new to flower farming and you've got flowers and foliage in the field, be generous. It will get you your next order. And what you're going to do with it anyway? Compost it? Don't be silly. They've paid plenty. So you can see the only thing I've used up is the foliage and the filler flowers. So that's easy peasy to get a few more of those, but the queen flowers, I've still got enough for a couple more buckets. If I just add this dahlia, just to give you an idea, you can see it starts to change the entire colour. And it goes just as nicely with the phlox. Look at that. Oh, look at the red. They look like fireballs, don't they? Absolutely beautiful, wonderful buttonholes. You wouldn't think it, but they absolutely look fantastic with salmon, don't they? I'll come back a bit so you can see. You wouldn't think it, would you? Beautiful. Got some gorgeous white ones hiding in here. And some pink. Look at that. And the dark. I sell more of the dark flowers and the brightly coloured flowers than anything else in October. And such long stems, look at that. So I always say...
Neil, do as you told.
You put me off now.